And a big hello to everyone from the Formula V Association of Queensland as the Formula V's take to the track. Now they've got another race after this one, so we're not quite at the last race. Everyone who's not having a 1 hour race today is getting sort of 5 races, so you can't really complain about that. Square deal, as you might say. And Greg Wood got one back on Paul Callaway in the last race, so the Orange Sabre will start out of pole position with the Mick Motors Jacer of Callaway starting alongside. And McFall starts out of position number 3 in the Spectre. Now, he's hoping that any British secret agents don't suddenly appear on the scene and try to assassinate him or anything. That was a weak joke to begin with, and I just made it worse, especially since it's not actually a Spectre, it's a BC. Boom, boom. Bruce Atchison starts out of position number 4 in the Manta. Then we have Alex Hederman. Now, the entry list describes it as Mazda MX-5, but I don't think that's what it is. Hederman's in a Jacer. Alongside Alex Hederman is David Hederman. And, David Hederman's in the Jacer, and Alex is the Jabiru. Ted Sibley's Polar is next, ahead of Neil Sivier in the Elfin, and Scott Andrew in the Rapier, and he's hoping that Clinton Liebinger's Rapier has rejoined the start, as has Adam White's, with Ken Philby hopefully at the tail of the field as well. We are away. Smart start there from Wood, and he will lead Callaway into turn 1. McFall is third behind them, but there's our 2 race leaders, Wood and Callaway, through turn 2 for the run onto the back straight for the first time. 10 laps for Formula V's. We made much mention yesterday that it's the 50th anniversary of Formula V as a motor racing category. So congratulations to Formula V that it's still going. You look here in Australia, there's we've got Formula V championships going in at least 4 states. I think it's 6 actually. So 50 years on, it's still a fantastic category for motor racing. Category was significantly modernised a bit over a decade ago. That was the first real modernisation that had happened to the category, and it's worked wonders. It was fading a little bit at the time, the old 1200 rigs that had been in since the beginning. And we've got a crawler working on the screen there now, so watch your race numbers there to tell you who is where. The 77 is Greg Wood, the 82 Paul Callaway, 12 is Eddie McFall, 56 Bruce Atchison. Then we've got David Hederman ahead of Alex Hederman. As we see on screen here, here's McFall and Atchison, the BC, the silver BC, ahead of the dark blue Manta. Now the Manta is a little bit of an Elfin new generation copy. A little bit, but sort of not really. Who was wide onto them? That was the Alex Hederman was wide coming onto coming out of turn 3, I should say, just then. It's cost him a couple of spots there in the Jacer. One of 2 Jacers in the field here today. There's quite a few more scattered around the state. As Wood goes challenging Callaway, gets him under brakes. So already the Wood The Wood-Callaway battle has been swapped at least 3 times. It's going to swap again on the run towards turn 1. As Callaway's got the inside line and half a wheel's advantage. So Greg Wood has to surrender and take up second position. McFall is third, then Atchison, followed by the Jabiru. Looking at the timing monitor there of David Hademan. Scott Andrew is ripping his way through the field from further back in the QueenslandHouseandLand.com Rapier. But Wood jumps up on the inside of Callaway for the run down to turn 3. And they run side by side. Now, all of this ongoing squabbling between Wood and Callaway has allowed Eddie McFall to close in. And it seems to be working quite well. Right up on the tail there of Callaway, particularly when Callaway wags the tail of the Jacer through turn 4. Just the back end broke away very slightly. Through turn 6 onto the Dick Johnson straight. It's Greg Wood leading Paul Callaway from Eddie McFall, Bruce Atchison and David Hademan in the Jabiru. There's a bit of a gap before we get to Scott Andrew, who's worked his way into 6th position from the tail. Now he has to bridge a large no man's land before he can get up to this group. That's fighting on screen. McFall has climbed into 2nd position there, not able to get the advantage on Wood through the opening corners. As Wood has once again gone head-to-head challenge with Callaway. Rest coming out of turn 3. It's all getting a bit fraught here. Callaway's actually starting to get away a little. The battle, this 3-car battle, is now for 2nd position, not for the lead. So Wood, McFall and Atchison are going every which way, trying to find one advantageous line. Callaway leads them into turn 6. Now Wood's broken away from McFall. As good as Eddie McFall has shown himself to be in recent times, there's only so much you can do in a car that's 15 to 20 years behind the cutting edge. But McFall's nonetheless doing an impressive job. Down to a 29.5 last time around.
Strong effort, isn't it, really, when you look at the pace of them? He's matching the paces of Wood. And he's sort of on the money of the reels, but hello, a bit of a challenge going on here further back in the pack, Jonesy.
That's
is that Liebinger?
They're Liebinger having a go at the Hademan Jabiru. No, that's Atchison. Yep. What's happened here is David Hademan has caught the lead group in the Jabiru, which is now that particular Jabiru is the car that Andrew Moran raced in recent times, which I was talking to Paul Callaway before. It's his old car rather than Shane Hart's. I think that's what we decided. So there,
this time around, it'll be half race distance, Mr. Jones.
Yeah. So the Manta here of the dark blue car of Bruce Atchison. You can see it's
27s for Callaway.
Well, yeah, he got a good lap that time around, I guess.
Geez, that's a cracking lap.
Yeah.
Means there's a bit of life left in this track here today. I thought it might have got a bit hot by now, but it's actually lasted fairly well. There's a cool breeze about helping with some horsepower.
there. The McFall is third, Atchison fourth, although he's having a bomb dive to explore the option. David Hederman tucked in behind in the Jabberoo. All three of them wanting to get back up towards the tail of the orange car of... Oh, there's Atchison having a bit of a look there on McFall's car. Oh, and there goes Hederman up the inside of Atchison on the run to turn 6, so that was nicely done there. Proving that the slimline Jabberoo still has some life left in it. That having been said, considering Atchison's Manta has some heritage as being a clone of the Elfin New Generation chassis, which was a 1980s design. And early 80s at that too. Hasn't been a great deal of advancement in Formula V. Now, almost all of the cars here in the Formula V, well, all of these cars that are here today are Australian designed and built cars. There's Scott Andrew in the queenslandhouseandland.com.au rapier. And he's not too far behind. Oh, there's Greg Wood. So Wood continuing to chase after Callaway. In fact, Wood's closing on Callaway again now, having escaped the battle that he was having for second with McFall and Hederman and Atchison. Jabber of Hederman heading through turn 2. One view there is now we're looking at our race leader Paul Callaway, Mick Motors Jason. Big thanks to Mick for the Mick Motors. Now it's getting all a bit fun and games here on the run down towards Snake Gully. Hederman's into third place now, ahead of Atchison. Here they go. Oh, it's getting a little bit desperate there at turn 6. Atchison and McFall side by side trying to get up onto the back of the Jabberoo of Hederman. Here they come to the line. 8 laps into the books, 2 remaining. McFall, who was briefly into second position, now drops to the tail of that group in 5th.
Yeah, it's a case of, you know, the seesawing aspect of this category, Jonesy, that you can be at the front of the bus very early on and then be sliding to the back faster than the downhill on a slippery slide, really, can't you? So it's just one of those things where and then come from nowhere in the last couple of laps. Faster
than Eddie the Eagle on a training run.
Exactly. Well, he was fast downhill, but he didn't fly very well. The human best of it.
So we've got 2 3-car battles raging out there on track. We've had given a lot of attention here to the battle for third here between David Hederman, Bruce Atchison and Eddie McFall, but just behind them, Clinton Lee being a Scott Andrew and Alex Hederman are going out for position. There's our race leader, Paul Callaway, he's getting one back on Greg Wood now. So like the QR Sports and Sedans, they've been trading blows for wins, these two. Callaway's got a gap on Greg Wood, out to almost 2 seconds as he greets the last lap board. So it looks as though in this race at least, that Greg Wood has run out of answers to challenge Paul Callaway. Those 2 3-car battles are getting very tidy now, or untidy I perhaps should say. So Alex Hademan in the second of those 2 3-car battles is forming a lane as we see Callaway down the back straight heading to turn 3 on the last lap of this race. There's still another race to come from the Formula V's. We had a few more cars earlier in the weekend. Had 15 on Friday. Down to 11 now.
Checkered flag at the ready, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, just one corner to go. Racing up the hanger straight there is the chaser of Paul Callaway, the Mick Motors supported Jason, and he'll take victory here out of the final corner. He's done enough, he can roll from there. Callaway takes the win from Greg Wood. Now it's all on here for third. It's heading for sheep stations, not quite. It looks as though, wait for them to come to the line. And it's David Hademan who's taken third place ahead of Bruce Atchison and Eddie McFall. Clinton Liebinger leads the next group almost immediately behind McFall, and we're catching them rapidly with Scott Andrew and Alex Hademan, with Ken Philby coming around in 9th place, so Ken will at least get some points. Ted Sibley in the Polar finishes 10th, and we're just waiting now for Neil Sevier in the Elfin. A break, and we're back with regularities.